Welcome to the Death Battle Cast, the show where I just learned that if you put your tongue at the roof of your mouth when you're about to sneeze, it stops the sneeze.
You're
That
welcome.
is a problem now because I feel like I still have to sneeze, but it's not happening. So if I just sneeze randomly in a couple of minutes, that's why. It's all Liam's fault.
I think that's like an emotional thing where we are like, I really am excited to sneeze. I'm excited to expunge this snot from my body. And now that I haven't, because I've prevented it, now I feel like I need to fulfill that. But I think it's a more of an existential sort of human longing thing rather than an actual biological one. If you stop thinking about it, it'll go away.
There you go. See, the chat noticed that you shaved, Liam.
Yeah, they fucking did.
Thick Grimes and Wagon Works, they picked up on it immediately. And then Liam's like, you guys know anything different? Sam and I were just blank. Like, nothing. We're like,
yeah, I didn't know anything. I don't
They have, Sam and Chad revealed that they had not looked at me dead on in 3 years. Just had not looked at me like face blind.
Just because you have a light facial hair, so like,
yeah,
it's not like there's a big.
It was
like...
red. It was red. It was my hair. You know, it wasn't heavy, but it was there. It is kind of red. Yeah, it's gotten more red over time.
I don't think so.
I don't have it on my face right now.
That's okay. We all know that Chad is blonde.
So. Yeah, dude, that's so funny to me. For those who don't know, like fan art from like a million years, every time somebody drew me in fan art, they drew me blonde, and I was like, "That's so strange." I'm like, "What does this come across as blonde? It's red,
well,
whatever."
Your attitude does, at the very least.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
What? Anyway,
my California skaterness.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. As a fellow blonde man, I don't know how to feel about that.
What? To be me being associated with you? Why? Why is that bad?
To be fair, Ben, spiritually, I do think you're a brunette. Just get that out here. I do.
Okay.
I'm just saying that's how it feels.
So hi, I'm Ben, the spiritual brunette with spiritual blonde Chad. Actual blonde Sam, I guess.
Yeah,
Sam's Viking as hell. Look at that Nordic motherfucker.
Yeah.
And then child face Liam.
Yes. Young.
It looks good. I like it. I like
Thank
the
you.
cliche.
Yeah, I do. I'm getting. When I first shaved, I was like, it's like blank white with red, like redder than normal looking lips because of the contrast, and I was like, I look like a geisha. But now it's starting to normalize a bit.
I look like a geisha. That's so good.
All right. Well, speaking of geishas, our community death battle this today has nothing to do with them.
I was gonna say, how are you gonna transition that one?
Today we are going to be talking about
with the facial hair. Cool. Thanks, by the way, for that. Yeah, that's good. I'm just scratching myself.
Wow. Today we're going to be talking about two games, one of which that just got a re-release, and one that people have been wanting a sequel to for so freaking long, to the point where some people expect that when we bring this character into Death Battle, it will be the tipping point where the Death Battle curse is the only thing that can actually make Half-Life 3 ever happen.
Yeah,
we're going to be talking about Isaac Clarke from Dead Space versus Gordon Freeman from Half-Life, which is gonna be wild. I think there's gonna be a lot to talk about. So
I need to talk about something before we roll into it, because Luis reached out. We got so wrapped up in the end of last week's cast, we missed that Gelatin Man dropped 20 memberships, gifted out 20 memberships. So if you're a new channel member, it probably came from Gelatin Man last week.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Gelatin Man.
Yeah,
I love that name. That's fantastic. Awesome. Thank you so much, Gelatin Man. Okay, yes, and we are live at the moment. We do the show live every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Central Time. So seeing all these amazing badges go up the chat. As always, you guys can join into the discussion as we do a debate. Quote, quote, debate. We'll see how it goes. As Liam will be representing Isaac Clarke, and Sam will be representing Gordon Freeman.
That's me.
It's their job to convince the jury to vote for their character at the end of the show as who would win a death battle. So, and the jury, of course, consists of 3 seats, myself, Chad, and you all watching this live. So get ready to vote at the end of the show. Okay, so let's get this started. We'll start with opening statements, 60 seconds on the clock.
Sam, you should go
Liam.
first. Okay.
Oh, you
first,
think
Liam.
Sam should go first?
No,
I
Liam
think-
goes first. I
Liam,
think
you're
that-
up first. Dead
Yeah.
Space
Argument
just
works
came
better.
out.
It's true.
Everybody's
it's true.
enjoying it, so
Yeah, it's true.
that means you go first. Sure.
Do it, Liam.
Okay, so Isaac Clarke is Isaac Clarke and Gordon Freeman are very similar. Obviously, there's a reason why they're being compared, and that's why the reason why they're paired up against each other. But like, Isaac Clarke is just sort of a Gordon Freeman plus. He has better, more futuristic technology, superior armor, superior abilities, a wider variety of abilities, better feats. He's more versatile. He's more well-rounded. I would say Gordon Freeman is very well-rounded, but I shouldn't say he's more well-rounded. They're both well-rounded. Isaac Clarke is just better in every way that matters. He's faster, he's stronger, he's tougher. His technology is able to counter Gordon's really well. Gordon does not have an answer to stasis. Kinesis is better than the gravity gun. If you want to give them everything from their arsenals, like give Gordon the super gravity gun, then we can talk about the devil hand and the finger cannon, and we can see how that goes.
The Brawl Bro in the chat also brings up a very good point. He actually wears a helmet.
He does. Actually, I forgot to end my 60 seconds on the line that I wanted to.
And we'll never
Too
know.
bad, you can't now.
Yeah.
No!
It's
I
over.
was- it might not have been perfect. It might not have been perfect. It might not have been that good. But Isaac has a third game.
Wow.
I
It
mean,
would have been great if I had actually done it
technically-
in the 60 seconds. But
Yeah,
whatever.
to be
Doesn't that's not a
fair,
real argument.
Gordon has like 5 games.
Yeah, it's
just not a third one.
right.
Well,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah,
Sam,
yeah.
you want to get started?
Yeah,
60
yeah,
seconds on the clock.
yeah.
Uninterrupted.
Well, Gordon's a scientist, so he's smarter. Let's just start there. I believe he's a theoretical physicist, and he might not have the crazy spacesuit that Isaac does, but he does have an HEV suit, which gives him a shit ton of powers, and also, I think he's physically much, much stronger than Isaac, which I think is going to play a role here. In fact, he's so strong, he can explode an Abrams tank with a crowbar, which is definitely better than peak human. Okay. Plus, not to say, he does have a very wide arsenal, including uranium enriched energy vortexes that shoot through armor. So I think there's going to be ways for Gordon to be able to really send the, Isaac to hell before it even really starts. So, yeah, I just need a 50, I guess.
You said uranium. Sorry, I was looking at a piece of mail that I got about a year ago that says, I think it's my roommate that owes $700. Yeah, because I've never heard
Why
of
are you
I've never
doing
heard of
that
this.
now?
I just
straight up
opened it
thought-
up
where I'm
innocently while I
going.
was waiting. I was waiting for you to finish your long-winded kind of.
It was
email
10
segment,
seconds
did.
shorter than yours. You
But,
took extra time
It
to add
was
another
actually
line.
20 seconds shorter than yours.
Pacing is different than time. What you said uranium? You said uranium something at the end that like it
To be
bypasses
fair,
durability.
uranium is the ammo that the gun uses.
Yeah.
but yeah.
What is the gun again? I'm sorry, I
The
didn't hear what it
gun
was. Is it the gluon gun?
There's the
Oh, that's something
Tau
different.
cannon
Yeah.
and the gluon gun. The gluon
Yeah.
gun specifically ignores enemy armor.
Yeah. Because of it's uranium, it's like radiation.
Well, no.
He's
It
trying to
is-
lead
It
the
just
way.
launches rocks of uranium at you, and they just sort of phase through you.
No.
I made a little joke there.
The description on it is a
I'm just
vortex
saying, like,
of
if it's-
deadly energy.
Okay, but if it's using uranium, then the deadly energy is radiation, and Isaac's suit is radiation resistant.
I think more so uranium is a power source. I don't think there's anything to do with radiation. Because
you don't think that radiation.
there's unprotected scientists working on
Whoa.
it and using it to shoot things.
I don't know what. Yeah,
I'm raw dogging it, Chad. But yeah,
I think that's
Raw dog is a uranium?
Yeah, I think it's radiation based, but
No,
we can get
it is
into
very specifically a vortex of deadly energy.
yeah. I'm to introduce you to the concept of radiation. Deadly
Yeah,
energy is one of the ways that
but
I would
And it can
absolutely
ignore
describe
armor.
it. It can ignore armor, yes, as
yeah.
we.
But then again,
It acts very much, and it is like a backpack gun thing. It's like
yeah,
it very much looks like Ghostbusters beams. Like it is really on some Ghostbusters shit.
yeah,
Aren't-
it's
aren't-
like okay.
yeah, aren't the proton packs
yeah.
basically radiation? I don't know. I'm not trying to
That's
argue
why-
against you,
that's
Phil.
why,
I-
that's
it-
why his
it's
face is-
totally
But
possible it could
that's
ignore
like
armor.
I
but-
don't understand why you're like radiation's not gonna
Yeah,
work. Like
Because
Because-
because
I'm
Isaac's
saying that
suit is
because
specifically
Isaac's
built to protect
suit
against radiation.
resists radiation, and
yeah,
radiation
yeah,
does
okay.
bypass
But then,
traditional
then,
armor
then
in
here
real
again,
life.
they're the exact same thing. The combine suits, exact same, goes right through that shit, right? And that's when we're talking about their ultimate arsenal weapons, like the supercharged gravity gun. Like the extremely armored gunfire doesn't do much to me. Combine, it because of the way it affects not their suit, but their organic matter. And I don't
Yeah.
know where your argument is that Isaac is not organic matter.
I'm not arguing that. I'm saying his suit
Well, that's
resists
the thing.
radiation. What's fucking complicated about this?
My thing, the supercharged gravity
We can
gun
talk. Oh, I'm
will
glad you brought up the
disintegrate his
supercharged-
organic matter.
I'm glad
Got
you
it.
talk about the supercharged gravity gun.
Yeah.
Totally non-standard. Gordon gets it and then loses it immediately after leaving the Combine capital. It is not a thing that he normally has throughout the entire game. But if you want to give it to him, fine. We could talk about the Devil Hand and the Finger Cannon, which are foam fingers that Isaac Clarke gets, where he shakes it and you die. You just
Yeah.
explode.
What?
So
Yeah.
that's
I mean, they're
bypassing
like-
durability.
They're Easter egg weapons, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you want to talk about
mean,
non-standard, then we can do that. Or you can talk
I
about
mean,
the
that
desks.
feels like it's a different thing than a weapon that Gordon used once versus a weapon that's more of an Easter egg, a fun little thing in the game, but it's not necessarily like part of the canon.
yeah. I think a fun thing too is like you mentioned stasis, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
You want to explain that a little bit?
It freezes you. It slows you down. It doesn't freeze you. It slows you down. It slows down your
Yes.
movement.
Yeah. In the games, the gravity gun gets supercharged by combine stasis fields. That's the mechanic that does it. And also the HEV suit keeps them from affecting Gordon. So they affect him, but not like significantly, not as much as people, right? So I think there's also an argument that stasis itself is something that can supercharge the gravity gun.
In what way? Just because it's called stasis doesn't mean it's the same thing. It doesn't slow anything. What are you talking about?
Well,
What is the stasis beam? Is basically like what's the thing that Isaac's shooting to slow?
It has a module in a suit that he shoots a blast at you and it hits you and then it slows down your
Yeah.
movement for a few seconds.
Right. And so he's saying it's possible that same thing that charged the gravity gun.
yeah. I mean,
Is
the
it?
combines have these things.
Is it
Well,
possible?
what they do is they specifically the first one and I think the second one, there's these walls where you can't bring weapons through it. That's the specific thing the stasis field does, and those supercharge the gun. But there's a couple other instances where I think they just get blasted by a lot of energy and they get supercharged.
It sounds like stasis is a type of energy in Half-Life, and stasis in Dead Space is like a thing that slows you down. Like stasis doesn't seem like
What
it's
do you mean
thing
a
that
type of
slows down your
energy?
physical. What do you
Like
mean a type of energy?
radiation?
Like I'm talking to him.
We're getting a very weirdly
Yeah.
specific.
Yeah,
Well, but okay, here. So I think
I
the
mean,
biggest arguments
Sam,
are.
you were the one saying that like uranium isn't radiation. So if we're gonna get
No, no, no,
nitty gritty
no, no,
on
no,
this,
I'm
then
just
let's
saying-
get
Don't go
nitty
back
gritty.
I never said uranium isn't radiation. I just think uranium is the power source, like a small little nuclear backpack
Nuclear,
to make an
which
energy
is connected,
blast.
which emits what sort of energy? So what sort of decay?
Okay, but that's right now. That's like right now being like, oh, because we have a nuclear power plant, my computer runs off uranium. Like, yeah, it does, Liam, but that doesn't make it radiation.
What you're talking about connects it to electrical energy, right?
Debate.
Because the difference is that there is a nuclear power plant that then provides electricity, right? You're talking about a thing that uses uranium and that shoots a beam that bypasses your durability, which is what radiation does. That's why I'm connecting the two, right? There is nothing, there is no device that says the uranium powers a machine which provides electricity and lets you fire beams of lightning. Like, that's different. You know what I mean?
But it also doesn't say it fires beams of radiation. So like,
it just fires something that is how radiation operates.
I get how you got there. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wait, okay.
Got there
what is the end goal here? Are you saying that
he's saying that
he
if
doesn't have
the stasis blast would power up the gravity gun because the Combine use a thing called stasis to power up
there's
the
a
gravity
possibility
gun.
because the way the gravity gun is literally called supercharged, if it receives some sort of energy blast high enough to supercharge it, it is that way.
Yeah, but we don't know if it's the same kind of energy blast. We just know that they're both called stasis.
Oh,
but stasis is also a general.
In order for it to be supercharged, you're saying he needs to get some sort of attack from Isaac that will charge it up.
Yeah.
But also, you're sitting here saying, hey, Sam, I'm going to assume the energy coming out of the weapon he uses is this type of energy.
Yeah, because
then why can't I say, hey, Liam,
you said that it's powered by uranium.
Shooting.
You said that it's powered by uranium, which produces radiation in the real
produces
world.
energy.
Oh my God.
I'm saying stasis is just a general science fiction term that you can use to mean force field, like a stasis field, which is not the same thing as Isaac's stasis, which slows you down, which literally slows down your movement in time. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
I mean, to be fair, the stasises do slow down. They stop people. They can't.
But is that what it
through.
is in the context of Half-Life? I
No,
don't know why you're going this direction.
Thank you.
It was a small minor note that it might possibly affect
Right.
the
No,
gun.
and I've been trying to move us on
if
to
it's
that.
true, it's a big point, right? If you're sneaking it in there as like as a small little thing. It's like, yeah, like Charizard fires fire breath, and this guy becomes God when he touches fire. I don't know if that was really going to happen, but maybe.
Ignore that. Ignore that. I'm just saying.
Okay. Good. I am going.
NOS, you are absolutely right. We are going in circles. Let's get off
I've
of
been
this.
trying to
I
pull
don't
us
know
out of here.
what we're trying to do here.
Liam is disagreeing to leave. That's what's happening. Get off the track.
I am simply making the case. That you are sneaking in an argument.
I get it.
It doesn't make any
all
sense.
I'm saying is, if you assume
Oh, God.
he has if you just say, okay,
I don't.
Give Gordon do we give him the supercharged gun or not? That's a yes or no question. I don't need a speech. I need a yes or no.
How does it activate? How does it become supercharged in the game?
I'd have to go look up every way. I know specifically when they go through the Combine stasis fields, that supercharges it. I think there's another time where there's a giant energy, like they have these big reactor ball things, and I think one explodes and that supercharges it.
Okay, you know what we're gonna do? You know what we're gonna do? I'm gonna start a poll. Does Gordon get his supercharge gravity gun? And then
there you go.
The chat will decide. Move on. Let's talk about other things.
I may have wasted a lot of time here by not bringing up the fact that Isaac has telekinesis too, just like the gravity gun. And he doesn't need a gun. He can just do it with his hands, with the suit that he's wearing. So he just yanks the gun out of Gordon's face, out of Gordon's hands, freezes him, and then like blows him apart with the plasma cutter, the line gun, the pulse rifle, the Ripper, the javelin gun, the seeker rifle, the flamethrower, the force gun, the contact beam, the detonator, the rivet gun, and the hand cannon slash
but most of those are like Gordon gets shot by fucking tank cannons and he's just vibing, right? Like
he's just not vibing. He loses a lot of health from those. They do not do no
but
damage.
He doesn't
to him.
Die is my point. And like it's not like these
Gordon,
are like
whoops.
boom, he's killed, right? So all I'm saying is like, and you're just being like, oh, Isaac will just take the gun. Can he? Like, what's the limits of his telekinesis?
I would love to. I was actually about to say this, Ben. I know we don't usually share gifs. Mine's 4 seconds. Is that fine? Is that like an acceptable?
It's supposed to be an image.
Okay. You know what? I'll do.
Show me
I'll do.
telekinesis in an image.
I'll do a screenshot. I'll do a screenshot because
Yeah.
this needs to be
Yes,
seen to be
that's fine.
believed.
That's not. We're on YouTube, so we got to be careful with that.
I know. Okay,
What are
hang on.
you trying to show? Like, you can also just describe it.
I could, but I feel like there is a huge difference, a meaningful difference between an image and describing it. Isaac picks up a meteor.
Okay.
Hang
With
on.
telekinesis.
With
How
telekinesis.
big of a meteor? Because like
and
that
in
sounds
fact,
impressive, but if it's like that big, like
that is in fact what I'm about to show you.
okay.
This meteor is about 10 to 20 feet
Okay,
away
well,
from him in the air.
while you are getting that set up, I will say that the poll is pretty definitively leaning towards yes. Gordon gets his supercharged gravity gun.
Right.
Okay, so this is one of those things where like you might be right. I think this requires some math, right? That's probably a pretty big heavy rock,
Don't
right?
probably a pretty big heavy rock.
Meteor.
The thing is
But
bigger
it's
than he
probably
is.
a big heavy rock.
Dude, I'm
No,
not
it's
doing this
probably
with
a
us with you. I'm just-
projection.
It looks photoshopped into the thing. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
this might
Liam
be
lied.
fake
He
news.
photoshopped it in.
What I'm saying though is like, and also, if I remember correctly, the telekinesis, you have to be pretty damn close.
That is about 10 to 20 feet away from him in the air. He doesn't have to be that. You can be that far away
the
from it.
meteor about the size of a person. A little bit,
Yeah,
a little bit bigger than the size of a
from
person.
what I
Diameter.
remember,
Yeah,
I
is what
haven't
mean.
played the remake. I've played the original one.
Yeah.
You have to be like within 10 feet of something to use telekinesis.
No, he actually uses it from about like 50 to 100 feet away on this giant necromorph. That's in one of the games. You can be relatively far.
Is the telekinesis part of a tech or is it like natural to him?
It's part of the
I'm
tech.
not sure.
It's the suit.
Okay.
It's like
Yeah.
stasis. It's like a module.
Because at first when you said that, it's like I thought you were gonna go with the route of it's been forever since I played Dead Space. I thought you were gonna go the route like where Gordon needs a gun to do to lift things, but Isaac can do it naturally. But then you were like from his suit, which is basically just a gun you wear, so it's still
Yeah,
like
but
technology.
You can't.
Yeah.
The point is that you can't rip the suit off of Isaac. You can rip the gun out of Gordon's hands, especially if it's
I got
that
it.
strong. You can just go.
Yeah, well, that's my thing. Like,
Let's talk about strength.
yeah, I'm thinking a couple thousand pounds. He's not going to be able to rip the gun out of Gordon's hands.
No, that thing is absolutely like at least 10 tons. So talk about like 20,000 pounds. Not definitely
That
not
thing's
definitely not
at
a couple
least
thousand.
10 tons.
Yeah, at least. I remember because I did boulder calcs for.
You're talking about the asteroid, the meteor that he's
yeah.
lifting?
I did
You
boulder
do
calcs
know-
for Leon
Sure.
Kennedy.
Yeah, you do know the contents, the chemical makeup of this space meteor. You're sure it's not some Bosselwood
Iron and
situation?
nickel.
Yeah, no,
right?
it's
Like,
hollow
Iron and
inside.
nickel.
It's hollow.
We're
It's a
making
hot-
it
it's a
way out of
hollow
this.
rock.
Brick of carbon, because it could be like 50
I
pounds.
was worried that like my argumentation about the radiation thing would make it seem like I was grasping. I'm glad Sam has retaken the reins
I'm not
of
grasping.
that.
I'm just
I will say, well, no, I mean, it's clearly dense enough to smash through a spaceship or whatever
Yeah,
the fuck. Like,
it's
it
a
clearly
giant
has
meteor. It's a giant
broken
rock.
steel. So as much as I'd love to have your crumble, it's hollow inside, doesn't
I'm
weigh a lot
sorry.
argument.
I'm sorry, but Chad, FU, that's my username, does point out, how do you know it's not a plastic prop from a TV show?
Yeah.
Um,
I do think, though, I think a big
don't.
thing, I'm not going to necessarily...
It could be from the Among Us show.
I'm gonna yeah. I
or
know.
the Fall Guys show,
I
whatever the
already
hell that
made
was.
the-
It's gonna haunt you for the rest of your life.
when the gun's being taken from Gordon, though, there is also the thing that the gravity gun is able to push back at the same thing. Like, we're talking picking up giant fucking boulders and tossing cars through the air strength. It's also able to push. So I think that's a hard argument to make, that he's just going to snatch it out of a superhuman hand.
Okay.
What that also can push back. And I think my thing is, like, I agree there might be some distance stuff, but I think if Gordon has a supercharged gravity gun and is within like 25 feet, like, Isaac is just, by the mechanics of that gun, disintegrating organic matter
Is that what
That's
the
right?
supercharged one does? It just
Yeah.
disintegrates organic matter. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So
They get this
we've
white
talked about the
crackly
gravity gun
lightning thing,
telekinesis
and
for
then they
like
just, like,
20
fade
fucking
into
minutes.
nothing.
Let's lock this down. All right. Gravity
I wanna-
gun. What is the biggest thing that it's ever lifted and thrown?
There's
tank?
like
Car.
there's like really big, like the building's falling apart, and there's like humongous parts of the building that, like huge stairways and stuff, like giant metal walkways and stuff that are falling. It grabs those and throws those aside. I think you can lift. There's like striders in the second game that are like AT-ATs, and you can toss. You can like knock those over with it and shit.
Are we
Okay.
getting
It's
Isaac?
been a long time.
What did you say the asteroid might potentially weigh, Liam?
That thing's at least like 10 times.
Okay.
that's
Sounds like
not
it's probably
supercharged.
stronger. Let's
One
move on
thing-
from the gravity gun. The gravity gun as a gravity manipulation device seems weaker than what Isaac has, but the gravity gun can also be supercharged to
Yeah.
just disintegrate organic
Yeah,
matter.
Before
So
it's supercharged, you can like rip the metal doors off of like the combine trains. Those things like gotta be.
sure, I'm sure
significant.
it can exert a force of several tons.
Yeah.
But the
I'd wager it's
asteroids
around
really
there.
seems like it's much.
It's
The
also
push
not
and
mentioned
stuff can,
that-
like
that,
move cars and shit. So
Let's talk about other weapons and gear.
Yeah.
What is the
Isaac-
most powerful weapon that they each have? Gravity gun
Well,
aside.
Aside from the finger cannon, Isaac Clarke has thrusters that let him fly as fast as futuristic bullet trains. Like there was a bullet train going like ahead of him, and he was like catching up to it. In I think it was like Dead Space 2 or 3. He has his boots can be magnetized, which would be also a nice counter to the gravity gun. He can't be picked up. It allows him to like walk on walls and stuff in zero gravity. Other than that, most of his guns are like like the plasma cutter shoots plasma to slice things apart. The line gun is the same thing. The pulse rifle is the same thing. The Ripper holds like it's actually like the gravity gun in that it holds like this like blade in front of it and allows you to kind of like saw your way through things. He has a flamethrower. He has a javelin gun which shoots out javelins, but that can be electrified to like shoot lightning. Detonators, which are like deployed mines. Rivet guns, which are like nail guns, basically. A contact beam, which shoots out like a laser beam. A seeker rifle, which is a sniper rifle. So like basic, stuff like that, but futuristic. They all use plasma and lightning and are generally like the same kind of loadout that you would have in a game like Half-Life, but futuristic. Instead of using bullets, it uses plasma.
Well, what's the one that's going to be like that would be the winning weapon?
I mean, I don't think that there's any like single one in particular. I think that like any of them would do more damage to Gordon's suit than bullets and bombs and tank shells that do damage to him in Half-Life. So I don't think there's any one like ace in the hole. I think it's just a better arsenal overall. And if you add stasis onto that, just freezing Gordon in place, and then anything, any shot to the head would kill him.
Okay. And the finger gun is one of the joke weapons, right?
Yeah, you get it at the end of a playthrough,
Okay.
and you just shake it in and you explode.
So
Anyways.
are the joke weapons considered like part of the universe? Is there lore around them, or is it just like a fun little haha?
I think that there are
you won the game.
weapon descriptions, but I think it's haha. I don't think that
Okay.
that there's a. Well, I
Okay.
don't know. I'll check while you're talking.
Unless there's an equivalent in Half-Life, I feel like we should probably just axe all of those. Because it feels like it's just like way too much for this.
You don't want to be fun, then fine.
Well, if there's an equivalent in Half-Life and we can have like joke weapons versus joke weapons, sure. But otherwise, it feels like it's just like handing the win. Hey, he has a gun that can just destroy all life.
Yeah,
It's like a
I like
clown
that.
popper. Fun. So we can go ahead and ignore those for now. But Sam, what about Gordon? What weapons is he going to be using to actually win this?
I mean, the Tau cannon, which is like it's not future tech, it's an alien rifle, right? So I don't know. It shoots beams of energy, is all it says, right? And you can either shoot a bunch of or you can charge up your laser and shoot a big laser, right? That's what's hard to say, but I really think the gluon gun, if that's how you say it. Here's a description for it, right? The gluon gun, or quantum destabilizer, is an experimental weapon featured in Half-Life. It fires a devastating laser capable of disintegrating organic matter. That's what you get. It disintegrates organic matter through armor, which is shown in the game because there's enemies you specifically use it on that have armored plates that you can't hurt with other guns. You kill them with this, right? I think that's one of the big ones. Honestly, like then there's the other things that are just gonna be really strong. Like, yeah, what about an RPG? That's probably useful, right? Like, stuff like that. But it's kind of hard to say. He has a crossbow that shoots insane like magma bolts, but I don't think that's gonna work against Isaac's armor. I don't know if Isaac has a ton of like weird heat feats, but I'm guessing he does. Yeah.
I think a big advantage Isaac has in this is that he can fly with the thrusters. It's going to make him a harder target for Gordon to hit.
Does Gordon not have a way to fly?
I do think this comes into play kind of where they're gonna fight, right? Because Isaac could not fly in the way you're describing if he was like on Earth. Yes, you fly around in space in low gravity situations or no gravity situations.
Are they gravity
right?
thrust? They're like anti-gravity or not anti? They're
you're
low
on a
gravity
spaceship
thrusters.
where you don't. That's why he has magnetic boots, and that's when
So
you
they're
use
not
them in
actually-
these segments when you fly across shit, right? Like in you
except
magnetic
for the
boot on
fact
stuff.
that he was able to
So
fly
air
fast
thrusters.
enough to catch up with. No, there are like he has like jet boots. They allowed him to catch up with a bullet train, which means that he was at least flying at, even in a zero gravity environment, he was flying forward at, I don't know, like at least 300 miles an hour. That's like the fastest bullet train that we have
and
nowadays.
that's what I'm saying.
Which
But
is
that
enough,
happens-
more than enough to resist Earth's gravity, right?
Yeah, well, that happens on a space station where
Yeah, but
in
the
zero
speed of
gravity where
moving
these
that
things are
fast-
designed to be used. I think it would be ignorant enough to say that they wouldn't be affected differently in gravity. Like that is a big thing about
they'd be
this
affected
fight.
differently, but it would
Yeah.
be still enough to let him
And
fly.
I'd still,
like, super
and
fast.
he'd still be able to do a sick ass jump with them at the very least, right? Like, but like, and I will say, thanks to the HEV suit, Gordon does have like humongous long jumps. Like you can jump like 35 feet once you get the long jump module. Like he can, and you have a super sprint. You can cover ground really fast. But
Okay.
Isaac can definitely fly in
I
an
think
Earth.
it would be
Real quick,
very
are
difficult.
they thrusters that like? Is there definitive evidence that these are thrusters that would work within Earth gravity or
Yes,
or
if you can
gravity?
project even in a zero gravity environment, if you can project yourself with a force forward, projected purely by those thrusters at least 300 miles an hour, because it's the future, probably faster.
Is it a
then you'd
maintained
be able to fly.
thrust?
Yes. Yes,
Okay,
he's like
so
he's
it's
like
not
flying to
like,
catch.
it's not like
it's a gameplay
what they have.
sequence.
It's not like what they have
No.
on the actual like spacesuits or whatever. Or the chairs, whatever they're called. They kind of do
I-
this little.
I would
It's like a
agree.
it's a
Yeah,
flying.
I know you're talking
Yeah.
about.
I
Yeah.
agree with like I think Liam's math is correct that if you're able to go that fast with those thrusters, they're certainly strong enough. But at the same time, like in the second game, when you're on planet, you never use them when you're on a planet. Even though there's
mean-
plenty of situations where they would be extremely fucking useful to, hey, I'm gonna get eaten by a monster. How about I just switch off? But like,
It's a
Yeah,
it's a
you
survival horror game. I don't know what I'm supposed
How
to
does-
say.
but that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's I think one of the most complex things about this fight is that one of them is kind of made to fight in space in low gravity environments, and the other one has nothing to do with that.
Okay. That's a good.
Yep.
That's an interesting point. Let's go ahead and think about that. Also, there is a poll up right now to let us know if you think we should be including Isaac's gag weapons or not. It has been back and forth, so
It is
get your
going.
There's
votes
no
in
way
it's-
because
it's-
one is just shake instant death. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, with the gag weapon,
Um,
that's done. Like he can
well-
be Superman, right? Like there's
Well-
that's done.
While you guys vote on that, I do want to shout out our sponsor for today's episode,
It's
Dave.
your favorite.
Yes, our good friend
Dave.
Dave. Good old Dave is back.
Dave has returned.
Look, we've all been in a situation at some point in our lives where we were a little tight on cash. Maybe you could only afford to put a few gallons of gas in your tank, or you're just living paycheck to paycheck and need something to give you a boost before things get stressful. Well, that's where Dave can help. Dave's here to rescue you. Dave is the banking app that could help you get up to $500 instantly with extra cash. That's more money to fill your tank, finally get your car repaired, or catch up on bills without having to wait for your next paycheck. you can finally tackle those expenses that have been stressing you out without any hangups. Millions of people have already downloaded the Dave app to get the financial relief they need with extra cash. And there's no interest and no credit check needed. So download Dave today at dave.com/cast. That's dave.com/cast. Sign up for an extra cash account and get up to $500 instantly. For terms and conditions, go to dave.com/legal. Instant transfer fees apply. Banking services provided by Evolve, member FDIC. Thank you, Dave, for sponsoring this week's episode again. I love how the chat is just
Everybody,
gets
they're just
excited
blowing
every
up for
time
Dave.
Dave is sponsoring us. Good old pal Dave. No, legitimately, go check them out if it sounds like it's something that could help you.
Absolutely, we love Dave for sponsoring the cast.
The poll is ridiculously close,
I see.
which does make me wonder if some of it is trolling to get us to just give Isaac an instant win.
In this context, I do I see it's funny, but could you imagine if we made a death battle and then Isaac just pulls out a foam finger and wiggles it and kills the other guy?
This is death battle cast.
Yeah,
This is
I know.
death battle cast all.
But in the case that he does have the foam fingers, I will
And
use.
actually, I think that would be amazing.
I'll use Liam's exact argument and just say Gordon has a gravity gun and he'll just take the foam finger off. That's your argument.
I mean, I
guys.
guess he could.
That's a neat counter. But then Isaac would use kinesis and remove the gravity gun from Gordon's hands. And I think, and let me.
I think Gordon's
And
probably
then-
strong enough to hold on to it. So the question is,
Well-
would he just
Well-
lift Gordon with it?
Well, yeah.
think
Okay.
Bad idea.
And then it
We
goes
did-
to fisticuffs, right? And who wins that?
You did mention that Gordon could destroy a tank with a
with a
crowbar.
crowbar.
He can't beat a Abrams tank to explosion with a crowbar. That is true.
Okay. Sam, you invoked some gameplay
Pretty
stuff
amazing.
before as well.
Yeah.
You invoked why doesn't he use thrusters in Dead Space 3? Is it not the same thing that if you do damage to any sort of tank or anything like that, any sort of car or something in a video
absolutely.
game, it's eventually going to just blow up because
Yeah,
it's an
yeah,
action
yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
I
rules.
couldn't explode a tank with a crowbar.
Not necessarily. I mean, not every game is going to allow you to do that. If that allows you to punch a tank. So the fact that they included the tank's damage is the same as what Gordon would deliver to any other enemy is, I don't know if I would necessarily just chalk it up as game mechanics, ignore. Same thing for the Dead Space thing, where unless it's specifically called out that that he didn't want to use it for some reason or whatever, then or that he wanted to use it and it couldn't work. If you can't specifically use it in that scenario when you normally could, is there a reason for that? That's worth investigating.
Mhm.
So
I will say
I don't know.
that, and I will say as some sort of transition. I don't, because I just saw this in the respect thread. But Gordon can let's say, okay, fine, he can bust tanks apart with his bare hands. Isaac has survived explosions caused by multiple. This says tanks. Caused by many explosive. Oh, those are explosive tanks. Never mind. But they do destroy a giant ship that he was able to survive. So he's also been smashed by building-sized necromorphs. He was chewed up and spat out by a giant necromorph. I think he has plenty of durability feats that he was able to survive that would more than allow him to tank Gordon's
Okay.
physical.
I was looking at. Yeah, go ahead.
Also survives a lot of stuff. Sometimes there's some arguments he's in this humongous combine alien building that explodes. They're up dozens of floors and then it explodes to the point where it's literally just rubble and he's in the rubble, right?
Mhm.
You could argue because G-Man visits you while you're blacked out that maybe he had something to do with you surviving, but at the same point, you survive being in a fucking train crash. You survive all
Well,
sorts
you
of
wake
wild
up
ass shit.
under rubble,
Yeah, exactly.
So
Like,
if he was gonna come and help you survive, I don't think you'd be waking up under all the I mean.
Yeah, there's clearly a reason this just random scientist was picked by G-Man, who is a weird he's like Q from Star Trek, kind of.
Yeah, we don't.
Like,
He's clearly an alien's life form or something.
yeah, and he's just trying to like manipulate other life forms and do stuff. So, and he
Yeah.
just like picks you as an agent. He's just like, damn, you're impressive. You're gonna be one of my guys. Like between Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2, Gordon is just like gone for 20 years, and he doesn't. Gordon just like turned off. Like he's just not in existence. And then G-Man's like, hey, we need you over here.
I don't know if this is a feat or anything. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying like there's a reason he was picked. He's
Yeah,
clearly
yeah.
He's
next
chosen.
level
He's
shit.
clearly a very skilled person on the planet.
What's the worst thing that Gordon has like actually like the damage that he's survived? Because
I do want to point out, Gilsid 13 does mention that Gordon has dodged lightning, Vortigaunt's lightning. I don't know if that's specific type of lightning, but
so it's hard to say because that's an alien creature that shoots lightning. So I wouldn't want to just like snap and say
it might
it's
be an
the
energy
same as real lightning, right?
kind.
Like it's hard to say.
Okay.
It definitely acts like
I
it.
agree,
It's radiation.
Yeah, it's radiation. It definitely acts like it, but it's hard to say. It's certainly
Radioactive lightning.
Yeah, dude.
I think you could argue that lightning is radiation of some kind, right?
Yeah.
How that
I
works?
mean, well, heat is.
I'm
so,
probably
like,
I'm just pulled that out of my ass. I don't know.
yeah.
Lots of things are radiation of some kind.
Yeah. There's he can also the HEV suit does you can survive these in like the final levels of 2. They shoot these energy balls at you. They're just balls of energy. And like you can grab them with a gun and fire them back, and whatever they hit people wise just turns into white and black matter and falls apart, right? And you're the only thing that can assumably survive those for whatever reason because it's a video game, right? Like they don't kill you when they hit you, but literally anything else you hit with them just disintegrates into white and black matter somehow.
Speaking of which, like Gordon did survive a blast from his own supercharged gravity gun.
Yeah, he does.
Which is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
The one that can disintegrate people?
Yeah. I'm gonna say that's he's got plot armor at that moment, like there's
no, dude, you gotta don't give that up. Go with it.
I think
Dude.
it
The
counts.
dude blasts him
I will
point
say,
fucking
like,
blank, right? And the screen goes like white,
not
and then you're
point,
just like,
he's-
that sucked.
He's
Like-
kind of far. He's a decent away from him, but yeah, it is a very weird moment in the game where you get captured and the bad guy has your gun and then he blasts you with it and it blasts you out of like your jail setup too, and then the bad guy runs away and you're like, oh, I'm gonna chase you now, nerd. Like that's like, I don't know.
Let me point out. Okay, let me just say this. I know again, people get on my ass when I like get nitpicky like this, but like. I'm not saying I'm actually arguing. I'm actually agreement with Chad here that is a legitimate feat, at least based on what you've described. But vaporizing a human isn't like, that's not like city level or anything like that. It's about 2.9 gigajoules. It's like building level or whatever, which is the same as stuff that like Isaac has also survived.
Yeah.
It's just not visibly he's not being disintegrated, but that's I think a measure of his like durability rather than like it not being the same level of energy.
Yeah. There's also this, I can't remember what it's called, but it's a combine, like, I don't know, satellite laser, and you see them like there's this whole part where you have to like run through this field or whatever, and like they show up on the ground and like there's a plot point where it blows up the entire side of like a skyscraper thing, like or it's not a skyscraper, it's like a 6-story building. It just like blows it off, right? The side of it. You can survive getting hit by those point blank. You can just stand in them, and yeah, they do a lot of damage to you, but they don't kill you.
Yeah.
Platinum Warrior has a good question though. Are either of these characters dog murderers? There's been a very important factor in some recent episodes.
Aliens in Half-Life 1.
Alien
those are kind of like dogs.
Yeah, alien dogs, yes. Canines, no. We're clear on that. Never killed them.
Liam actually lit up and then sees the on that. He's like, I was gonna bullshit, but wait.
Yes.
Hey, I have an argument here. Okay. If we include the hand cannon and the devil finger, does that mean we also get to include Gmod?
Yeah, well then I think I'm winning.
Oh yeah, well then it's over for Isaac.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Gmod, limitless power.
Is Gmod? Sure.
No,
I'm joking, but
yeah.
I mean, Gordon never interacts with Gmod itself, right?
Gmod isn't. It's just a game.
I'm sure people
Yeah.
have put his model into a million different things. So.
Yeah. Do we include Gmod feats of Gordon going? Ah!
Oh my god.
His suit does have like a bunch of things. So one thing I will say is it can automatically administer like medical stuff to him without his like need to be conscious or activating it, right? Which is something to consider. Like it'll automatically heal him if he is hurt without him interacting, right? His suit, there's some antiviral stuff. I don't know if it's specifically like, because the suit doesn't, it just explains like, oh, it's got some antiviral, and that's why the head crabs can't poison you when they get you, because your suit got antiviral juice. So like it's hard
just
to
spray
say
some hand sanitizer all over you. You're good.
Yeah, it's hard to say like the length of that and how far you want to stretch out, but the suit does have a lot of capabilities. It allows you to zoom in like visually. You just don't need scopes. Your suit does
Wait,
it.
what?
Explains, yeah, it explains.
Yeah, I guess
like,
you're right. But
Yeah,
that's
and it also like in the game you don't just because I'm a video game have a reticle. You narratively have a reticle because of the suit.
so it definitely affects. That's weird.
Yeah, and like in
I
the
didn't
second
think
one, they
about
talk
that.
about how like because you get the Mark V suit in the second one compared to the 4 in the first, and it adds to that reticle. And I believe the doctor talks about it and says like you have an ammo count on your reticle now in the Mark V suit, right? Like it's part of it. The suit does
Does
a
it
lot
have
of
like
things.
an invisible like hologram projecting HUD? Or
I don't know,
that
'cause
wouldn't
your
explain
HUD,
the zoom?
your HUD in the game is the suit, right? Like you can see the suit's battery, like it's explained to be the suit gives you the HUD.
Is it his glasses? Like
No.
that's so weird.
Yeah.
All right, apparently it integrates into his brain somehow, so that's cool.
Isaac has a
Okay.
helmet, which seems like
Yeah.
a minor point, but I do want to bring up that like it is like Gordon, the most major part of Gordon's body, the most like necessary portion for his life is unshielded, while Isaac's is not. I think that if it was like if you really came down to it, that's like not like a game changer or anything, but it is like I don't know. I'd rather have a helmet than not have a helmet, especially with the helmet as durable as Isaac's. Especially if Gordon's doesn't have that, because he could just blast his head off.
Butter
Yeah.
Samurai says Gordon also has a helmet?
Yes, the suit does, but you never see like when the suit is in the display case, like in the games and stuff, it has like a hazmat helmet, right? But like anytime you see Gordon in it, he doesn't have the helmet on. But narratively, or not narratively, but like in the game, obviously you do get shot in the head, and it like affects the armor's armor, not your health.
So it's like an energy field kind of thing.
Hard to say, but yes. Well, no, because it has a helmet. It has a physical fucking helmet, but also like you don't ever see Gordon with the helmet on. But if
Is
you
it
get
a separate
shot
thing? It's the thing that
there-
you like put on?
Sorry, it's like it's separate. It's separate and optional.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was
But
looking
it's
at this
just-
right now. He's just Marvel moving it, man. Like he's
Yeah.
got to have his actor.
It's like
time,
COD,
you know?
right?
Like,
You can get shot in the
Well,
head in COD
is it
and
just
not die.
toggle on off like in does
I'll shoot myself in the foot and say no, because if it was like legitimately always there, why would he be worried about head crabs?
That's a good point against yourself.
Yeah, I know, but that's I'm not gonna lie about it and be like, yeah, good point. Like, I'm just no.
Okay.
It's like
So
it makes sense that you need a like antidote for the head crab juice because they get it on your head because you don't have a helmet. Which is
I wanna
stupid.
propose-
Wear your
They're
helmet,
cute.
kids.
I want to
Even if it
propose
looks
a
dumb.
slightly different method of voting for this matchup, because the poll about gag weapons by the end of it
I
was
was about to
pretty
bring it up.
considerably in favor for gag weapons. So I'm gonna say for you guys in the chat, you're gonna have 2 polls. We're gonna give you guys 2. One that's like the legitimate death battle, because come on, and also one that is Isaac Clarke with his gag weapons against Gordon Freeman, but they are inside Gary's mod.
Well,
They don't
Gordon
necessarily have
doesn't get-
control over it, but they're just in it. So who knows what the hell's gonna
I
happen?
don't even know what.
So that's going to be the second vote.
I was joking.
But I'm going to go ahead and bring up the normal poll right now while we get to the community answers. Let's go ahead and bring up the first one for that, and we're going to get started with these votes.
This one comes from C123. I feel that there isn't much that Gordon can do that Isaac can't do better. On top of him having more options, his jets can be used, giving him more mobility with flight. All of his weapons have alternate fire modes, which gives him far more versatility, and his stasis can stun him in place. Okay.
Okay. It seems pretty in line with what we were talking about. Let's go ahead and bring up the next one.
Reyes says, Gordon should win in a tight fight. He's faster. He has actual durability negation, and his gravity gun can negate whatever Isaac can throw at him. I felt
Okay.
one of
Throw,
those
yeah,
community
can
answers
just-
was a little bit stronger than the other one.
But
Did
all
you
right.
misspell Gordon in the poll? Gordan.
Oh my God.
Hey,
Whatever.
there's Gordan Freeman. Nice to meet you. Come on down. I'm
Norton.
gonna show you some science.
They call me Gordy.
Gordy.
We get the guy that does Freeman's Mind.
Tell him Gordy sent you.
'Cause that was my introduction to Half-Life entirely, was Freeman's Mind. So I want him to voice Gordon if we ever do this episode. But just have the internal monologue. He doesn't
We
actually
would,
say
we
anything.
would
Yeah.
have to make it in Source Filmmaker, right? Like I
Well,
feel
of
like
course.
we'd be
God,
legally
it'd be like
obligated.
that'd be
No,
so
we would have to make it in Gary's mod.
Yeah.
And it'd have to be like those still image like stories that you would see on YouTube like
Oh my god.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
The fight takes place on the Counter-Strike map.
Yeah.
It's just it's on DDoS for some
doing
reason.
doing the knife
Yeah.
animation the entire time.
Here's
I know.
how to run faster. Like-
The poll is up for Isaac Clarke versus Gordon Freeman, not Gordon Freeman. This is actually his half brother.
Daniel.
Gordon.
Freeman.
Gordon will be in the Gary's mod fight, so you know. but other than the name difference, they are exactly the same person. So everything, they also have the exact same story. Yeah, everything's exactly the same. It's just one letter is different in their name. Full life, yes. Half-Life Full Life Consequences. I was trying to remember what that was called. Falco versus Leon. It's the most influential video ever made, or story, fan fiction, whatever, ever made. Did we make? I feel like we made a clip of the week based on that.
I don't remember if we did. Maybe.
Back in the Screw Tech days, I don't know. Maybe we didn't.
Could be.
I know we definitely did something with that back.
Ben,
in
we
the
probably did. It was every single week. So
day. It was a pretty fun video. Okay, well, we are getting down to the wire here. So, Liam and Sam, last minute, anything? Do you guys want to put out anything or say anything? You know what I mean. Last statements.
closing statements.
My argument here is twofold. While Isaac doesn't have a instant win gun, is an instant win foam finger, but he doesn't have an instant win like a durability negating gun like the gluon gun. It's debatable even if it's an instant win based on like durability, but whatever. The stasis is essentially a two-part one-hit kill, right? If Gordon gets hit by the stasis, he's going to be slowed down, and Isaac can just hit him with a headshot. The second thing is that I think even if they were the same strength, I think the kinesis module is better than the gravity gun because it can remove the gravity gun from the equation. The gravity gun can remove Isaac's arsenal from his hands too, but Isaac can do that to Gordon as well. Those two cancel each other out, but only the gravity gun can be removed with kinesis. I do think it's stronger, and I think overall flight gives him more maneuverability, and his weapons are just generally more powerful.
I mean,
overall thing.
Sure, the kinesis module is in his hand, right? Like it goes
Yeah.
tweet, comes out in this way and does a thing. I
Yeah,
don't
it's just
think
part of the
that
suit.
you can just say like because it's part of his hand, it can't be taken. Also, I will say the gravity gun's advantage, it can push as well as pull, and it is I think if you looked at it a lot of times usable from a further range. I will also say that the stasis I think we just have to dig in on how that works, right? Because if it is working against like muscles or how the necromorphs work, I think the suit itself would be able to keep Gordon from being stasised at least as effectively as it does against other things. Because the suit does negate a lot of stuff. And on top of that, I just think Gordon's better, man. Like, have you played Half-Life 2? Way better. Way better. So much of a
The
better
Dead Space
game.
remake is excellent, but I do agree.
I'm sure
I like,
Dead Space
the
remake, it
Half-Life.
does probably sick.
like the
I
Half-Life
don't
games
really
are really
like a
good.
scary game. I don't need to be scared. I'm old.
I'm
All right. Well, let's get to the vote. First, let's bring up the community vote from the community page that you guys voted on before the show. See which character you voted on that.
oh lord.
Oh,
Isaac.
it's significantly Isaac.
72%
That's surprising.
edge over Gordon. But that's just one vote out of, I guess, 5 this
See,
time
Valve,
around.
this is what happens when your franchise isn't relevant for over a decade. Damn it!
Hey, they had Half-Life Alex or whatever
It was
right?
amazing. I heard.
Yeah.
And no one
But it
actually
was
had
on
the VR to play it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right.
Ah!
Chad, who are you voting for?
Oh man, I like Gordon Freeman a lot more. And it's this is interesting because once y'all get out of your initial fucking bullshit circle, this became a very interesting debate. Because like I think Gordon's got like a couple more powerful weapons, but I think overall Isaac probably edges it out. So I'm gonna go with Isaac. You're welcome, Liam.
Okay. So we got 2 votes for Isaac. I'm actually going to end the chat poll right now so that I can get the second poll up. But the chat poll voting for who wins without gag weapons is currently Isaac Clarke with a 58% edge. So that is much less than the 72% that the previous one had. So there may be some hope for Gordon in this next vote. So I'm going to build that poll while I'm also kind of talking through my thought process on
Wait, you think
who
Gordon's
wins.
gonna feel better or fare better on the gag weapons?
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
I mean, includes Gmod.
Yeah, they're
It's
gonna
like
be fighting.
limitless.
Well, with Gmod, he just sets
Yeah, but they don't have
himself to
control over
invincible.
Gmod.
They're
Yeah,
gonna-
exactly. Like,
There's not an argument with Gmod. There's not an argument.
yeah.
Well, I think the argument is that neither of them have control over Gmod. So what does that actually give Gordon?
Well, who knows? We'll see.
I don't know.
So that poll is about to come
I don't know
out.
why I'm seriously arguing.
I'm gonna
that.
say I'm also voting for Isaac, right? But this, which does mean we have 3 votes for Isaac, or 4 votes for Isaac. So because of that, whoever wins this poll, this new poll, gets 5 votes. This
Wait,
poll
no, don't-
counts as
don't-
5
No.
points.
What is this bullshit?
Don't take
Are you
this.
gonna-
Don't take this from me.
This one counts as
Don't
5
take
votes.
this from me.
Okay,
So
cool.
go ahead and vote
Freeman,
on
brother
No.
of
who you
Gordon.
think should win.
No.
Whoever wins this one gets 5 votes
I
and
will
definitely wins
actually
this
cry.
matchup. All right.
I'm hovering over the
Oh,
end poll
God.
button. Just
No.
Gordon's ahead. I could end it right
No.
now, Liam.
Yeah.
You-
Whoever wins this
No.
one wins the whole thing.
I couldn't
So-
handle it. No.
Maybe Liam's gonna finally end his losing streak.
No.
Maybe
no.
Sam will actually win one of these. Sam, when was the last time you won one of these?
Not that long ago, I don't think.
He beat me
Yeah,
last
okay.
time.
So
Yeah,
maybe
last
Sam
week.
will trounce Liam once again, or maybe something else will happen. Who knows? This
I'm
poll
going-
will decide
Don't
the
do
winner.
this, dude. Oh my god.
I mean, right now it's either Gordon or
No,
John
I
Freeman.
didn't. No, I didn't do it
Isaac
to
has got
myself.
no chance
I
here.
did nothing.
I mean, this is keep in
No,
mind this is
Isaac's
with
coming up.
Isaac's
It's-
gag
I don't know, it's
weapons.
close. We'll
So
see.
they are one-hit kill weapons. I mean, that's pretty crazy, but also you know, there might be a Freeman out there who could actually compete with that.
I'm going to
After
free
all,
myself from life.
everyone knows that the Freeman,
Look at
the ultimate Freeman, he has to, when he has to kill fast, bullets are too
No.
slow.
Isaac
So-
is in the lead by 1 point. Oh, Gordon's
Oh,
in the
now
lead.
it's Gordon.
I really should end this poll right now.
This is
We are going to end the poll in just a few seconds. I'm actually gonna count this down. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. ending on.
They're tied. They're tied.
It is a tie.
Okay, well,
So
Wow.
distribute the points in
Wait,
half, and
okay.
Liam wins.
Liam wins.
Did
Don't
you dare?
I'm sorry. Did you guys mean to do that? Was that intentional?
Holy shit.
33% for Gordon and Isaac. Weirdly enough, John Freeman, who is clearly the most powerful of them all, lost, but that's all right.
Yeah, run it back with Morgan Freeman this time, and let's see.
Let's split the vote.
Oh my God. All right. I guess. All right. So if it is a tie, we unfortunately have to go back to the old votes, which means Isaac does win. Congratulations, Liam.
unfortunately, you just wanted to keep Liam on his losing streak.
And that
How's your
does
heart?
it for today's episode of Death Battle Cast. Whatever. Hey, let us know if you think this should be an actual death battle. And maybe, just maybe, if we do it, Half-Life 3 will exist. I don't know if the Death Battle curse is that powerful, though. It will be the ultimate test.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the curse is
I'm gonna
powerful.
fucking die.
All right. Thank you all for joining us live. If you're watching the VOD later on, thank you for watching that as well. Hope you can tune in live at some point. We'd love to see you. Thank you to the new members. Anybody who gifted members, awesome. Thank you so much. And as always, be kind to others, be kind to yourself, be awesome. And we will see you next week. Take care.
There you go.